in the merry month of June. From me home I started, left the girls in June. Nearly broken hearted, saluted bad and fair. Kissed me darling mother, drank a pint of beer. Me beef and turkey sweating off the reap the corn. They were Irish born, cut the stop like down to be on the shores. Dublin's brand new pair of blows, rattle all the bugs, fighting all the dogs on the rocky road. The Dublin once a great while, hunt the hair and turning down the rocky road. And all the way to Dublin, whack Balowdy da. And Madeline Garda died, I rusted tired and weary. Left the very next morning feeling bright and airy. Had a drop of that pure, beat me out for sinking. That's the penny's cure when air is down for drinking. Say the lassie smile, but all the while at me curious star was such a bird. The fellow and asked me was I hard. Why deserve a purr till I was sick and tired of the rocky road. The Dublin once a great while. Hunt the hair and turning down the rocky road. And all the ways to Dublin whack Balowdy da. In Dublin next to ride, I thought it's such a pity to be so soon deprived of you. That fun city when I took a stroll. All of them the funny bundle it was stolen. That made the penalty something crossing mine. When I looked behind the bundle, couldn't find a promise stick. However, the last word the road, for me can't road, was so much involved on the rocky road. The Dublin once a great mile. Hunt the hair, turning down the rocky road. And all the way to Dublin, whack Balowdy da. From there I got away, we searched for a file and landed on the quay just as the ship was sailing. Captain at me roared, got no more of Paddy when I jumped up for the cabin ground for Paddy. Down among the plates, did some early rigs, then some early chips to water around me bubbling when a body head. Wished that I was dead to fight the bird instead on the rocky road. The Dublin once a great while. Hunt the hair and turn down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin whack Balowdy da.
Welcome. We're back for another episode of the Lock-In. This Lock-In is labelled WPT IPO Dublin 2025, but actually a bit more of a road trip. Dara and I are currently in Birmingham. We've just played the Party Poker UK Tour Birmingham stop, which we had a great time at. Dara managed to get out for the trip. Last gasp, get out. Love a bit of that by coming fifth in the high roller. Delighted to see our great pal Sid take it down. That is just a phenomenal result. And actually, Dara, tell the story while this bus goes past. Tell the story of how Sid found himself the winner of a tournament he definitely wasn't going to play.
Yeah, there was I think there was a 60 quid side event the first full day that I was there. So I played that. I was lucky enough to be sitting beside Sid. And then when later edge closed, they did a draw, and there were four prizes. One person won, I think, a 109 ticket. Somebody won a mini main ticket. Somebody won a 500, and then somebody got entry to the high roller. And so they went in reverse order, and then they got to the big prize, the high roller, and they said, and the winner is Siddhartha. And I immediately started congratulating him. Maybe that was a little bit premature. There might be more than one Siddhartha. But no, it was him. So Sid got in for free, because he was in a 60 quid tournament, which he actually chopped heads up as well. So he had a really good week. Yeah. And yeah, great story for Sid. Sid's a lovely guy. We call him the super vet. He operates on gorillas, and that is literally true.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
If we can get that photo, maybe we'll put it in.
We might smash that photo up with his permission. 60 quid game was like a 50 plus 10, and he somehow turned it into about a 12k score. Amazing stuff. Congrats also to Ben Sweetman, who took down the PLO Masters. I actually played that one, managed to sort of get into day two, but 5 or 6 off the money. He went all the way in that one. Excellent result, and there was a great result as well for a man who came second in the mini main, then took down the main. Apologies, I can't remember his name, but I will put his photo up right now. Incredible result for him.
I think was his name.
Right.
And also the guy who won the mini main came fourth in the main. So there were two guys who had incredible results. And apparently they're very close friends.
Oh my god, that's incredible. Also, shout out to Matt Staples, who is a Party Poker ambassador. I think he took down one of the smaller side events, but still great stuff from him. Mystery Bounty, there we go.
Knocked me out, is that overset?
Fucking bastard. Okay, take that back. No, on a serious note, really nice trip. Congrats as usual to Raj and Rob Needham and their team. They do put on a lovely festival at a really nice price point. One of the features, and you know, credit where it's due, we might be WPT Global Ambassadors, but want to shout out when we see something good. No hidden fees on this tournament, and they want to make a real point of that. Obviously, it's become a bit of a thing in our culture where you kind of get the 10% rake, but then you get the sneaky extra 4 or 3 or whatever it is, and it's kind of done in not the most transparent way, and Party Poker said, well, enough of that, we're going to make it very clear, and I would actually love to see other operators follow suit. I think, even if you're going to make the reg fee like 13-14%, just say that's what it is and make it much more clear. Next up for me, I'm actually heading to Manchester, a bit of a last minute decision to I don't know why I do this to myself, chase a leaderboard that I'm definitely not going to get in the top 3 of. I'm 6th on the PokerStars low leaderboard right now for the year, and a pipe dream basically. If I win, I probably get myself into 4th, and then I have a shot going into the last 2 stops of maybe getting into the money spots 1, 2 and 3. They do have a promotion where the top 10 in each, the low, high and medium, get to be casting directed, I guess, or whatever it will be. Some sort of seedy casting couch, I'm sure, by Joe Stapleton and James Hartigan. I can just imagine they'll definitely pick me and not Dave Doherty. Why wouldn't they pick me?
I mean, you already won a similar promotion a couple of years ago to get on Loose Cannon or something.
Oh, I was going to be the Loose Cannon.
They didn't even give you an audition.
So. I did show up a bit late for that, but poor form regardless. But no, on a serious note, I have just decided to get on a train to Manchester. I'm not getting on the plane with Dara. I have a ticket booked to join Dara, go back to Dublin, stay in Shays Dokie for a day or 2, but I've decided to, for my sins, go to Manchester, one of the places I really, really hate the most on this entire planet. I'm going there for 3 days, but I will be showing up at the IPO Dublin on Thursday. Dara will be there playing the seniors event on Tuesday.
Seniors on Tuesday, yeah.
So we'll keep you
tomorrow.
Okay. So please keep us abreast of that. Obviously, we'll try and get a bit of footage from that if Dara makes a deep run, and you're going to see loads more in this episode. Maybe a little bit of random footage of the Midlands of the UK as I take some B-roll on the train. But after that, it's definitely going to be IPO all the way. On that note, chat to you later.
In the merry month of June, from me home I started, left the girls a tune. Nearly broken hearted, salute to father dear. Kiss me darling mother, drank a pint of beer. Me grief and tears to smother, then off to reap the corn. Leave where I was born, cut a stout blackthorn to banish ghosts and goblins. A brand new pair of brogues, rattling o'er the bogs, frightening all the dogs on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hut the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin. Whack for lolly ride. In Mullingar that night I rested, limbs so weary, started by daylight, me spirits bright, and nary took a drop of the pure. Keep me heart from sinking, that's the paddy's cure. Whenever he's on for drinking, to see the lassie smile, laughing all the while at me curious style. 'Twould set your heart to bubbling, and asked if I was hard. Wages I required till I was nearly tired of the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hut the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin. Whack for lolly ride. In Dublin next arrived, I thought it such a pity to be so soon deprived of view of that fine city. Well then I took a stroll, all among the quality bundle it was stole, all in a neat locality. Something crossed me mind, when I looked behind, no bundle could I find. Upon me sick a wobbling, inquiring for the road, said me Connacht Grove wasn't much in vogue on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hut the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin. Whack for lolly ride. From there I got away, me spirits never failing, landed on the quay just as the ship was sailing. The captain at me roared, said that Nora Maddie, when I jumped aboard a cabin found for Paddy. Down among the pace, played some bonny rigs, danced some hearty jigs, the water round me bubbling. When up Holly Head, wished myself was dead, or better far instead, on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin. Whack for lolly ride. Safely landed, called myself a fool, I could no longer stand it, blood began to boil, temper I was losing, poor old Aaron's Isle, they began abusing, hurrah me so says I'm a shillelagh, I let fly, Galway boys were nigh, and so I was a hobbling with the loud hooray, joined in the affray, we quickly cleared the way, for the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hut the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin. rocky road, all the way to Dublin. Whack for lolly ra, whack for lolly ra, whack for lolly ra.
Okay, so my rocky road to Dublin is actually going to become an actual Ryanair jet to Dublin. I'm going to take off now shortly, make my way to the Bonnington Hotel. But just a quick recap on what you kind of saw there in the video. I basically, on one bullet, went deep-ish in all three bowl comps. Finished just outside the money in the first one, and then basically just min-cashed the other two. I was doing pretty good actually in the PLO in particular, actually doing very well, good starts in both. That's what happened. I had very good starts in both, and then sort of maybe with half the field left, things started going against me, and then I didn't really have a stack to poon bubble, so I was sort of one of the people below average after the bubble, and then I was the first to go. Happens sometimes. Obviously the objective was to get a result of some nature, but pick up some points, and I didn't really pick up enough points. David Doherty did take down one of those side events, the very first one. Congrats to him. He's at leaderboard chasing too, and that will probably put him up into like virtual joint third. He's probably just behind Soraya now, with Froelich and Steen ahead of him. I don't think I move anywhere, even though 2 min cashes is worth a few points. I don't think it changes where I am. I think I'm sitting in 6th, but maybe a bit closer to the guy in 5th. I don't know if I'm going to end up going to Prague or Cannes, but at least my options are open. And, you know, you win the Prague Cup, possibly that's the way to kind of take down the leaderboard. It's going to be the biggest one after Barcelona. So we'll give that a crack. Or maybe we won't. I don't know what I'm doing in December yet, but at least my options are still slightly open on that one. And no regrets, actually. Manchester was a really enjoyable trip. I take it back, people of Manchester. I did a lot of piss taken there in the last video saying I don't really like it, and I don't really love it as a city, but maybe that's just because of where I was before. It was lovely, actually. The hotel that Stars put the event on in Deansgate was a lovely area. Went out for a couple of drinks one of the nights with a few of the lads. Actually a lovely time. So apologies Manchester, for now at least. Shout out of course to Ian Simpson, who took down the high roller. What a year and a half he's been having, taking down tournaments left, right and centre, doing well online. He's absolutely crushing these days. 2K high roller, very kind of dense field, to be honest. Got to give him credit on this one. Maybe only 100 runners or just over, but they were proper players. Like it was the cream of the crop on a Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon in Manchester. So he made his way through a tough field, as always, humble, just saying he ran well, but I'm sure he played very well also. For me, next stop Dublin, heading to the Bonnington in just like a couple of hours.
Well, in the merry month of May, now from me home I started, left the girls and two, and nearly broken hearted, saluted father dear, kissed me darling mother, drank a pint of beer, me grief and tears to smothered enough to reap the corn and leaf, for I was born, got a stout blackthorn, the Banish coast, and goblets a brand new pair of brogues to rock the love of the bogs and frighten all the dogs on the rocky road. It's a double of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to here and turn them down the rocky road, and all the ways to double and make for all the gab. In Mullingar that night I rested limb so weary, started by daylight next morning light, and there he took a drop of the pure to keep me heart and drink, and that's the paddy's cure. When there he's on for drinking, they hear the lassie smile, laughing all the while at me curious style to touch a heart above, and they asked me was I hired, and wages I required till I was almost tired of the rocky road. It's a double and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to here and turn them down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin and whack for lollygab. In Dublin next arrived, I thought it such a pity to be so still in the the view of Dublin city. Then I took a stroll all among the quality bundle. It was stowel in a neat locality. Something crossed me mind when I looked behind. No bundle could I find upon me stick. Go on inquiring after the rogue. Said me Conneth brogue, it wasn't much in vogue on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt ahead and turn them down the rocky road, and all the ways to Dublin went for lollydab. From there I got away, me spirits never failing, landed on the quay just as the ship was sailing. Captain at me road. Said that no room haddy when I jumped aboard a cab and flew for Paddy. Down among the pigs, did some hearty rigs, I played some hearty jigs, the water round me bubbling when I fully head. I wished myself was dead, or better far instead. On the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okie doke, so at this stage, Dara and I have both made the final table. That's usually cause for celebration, except for the fact that we're not in the money yet.
No.
I think
We also, don't have the biggest of stacks.
No, I think I'm actually sitting in the bubble position right now. I think I'm in 6th with 5 paid, with 9 left. And Dara, unfortunately, you're bringing up the rear.
I made a really good start today and actually was chip leader on the feature table for a while, but then lost a few pots. Very tough table, has to be said. Field is thinning out now to real quality. We've got Simon Wilson still in the mix, Nick Newport, Joe Mullen, a bunch of really good aggro players as well.
So something I said to you just before we started recording, Dara, and I think you'll remember it because it was actually just over there on that table about, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, the weekend that they were actually recording the BBC documentary here in the Bonnington. You made the final table of the high roller of the UK IPT back then, and you were very, very short, and one player mocked you and another player defended you. Do you remember what happened there?
I do, yeah. I got crippled in a huge pot, and I had 3 big blinds left, I think, and Will Kassouf, never shy to say a word, just kind of looked at my stack and goes, "You're fucked now." And for
You're fucked now. Wow, good.
For Aldo, who was the subject of that documentary, so the whole thing was being filmed, looked up and said to Will, "Do you not know who this man is, Will? This is the best short stack player in the world. He could paint the Sistine Chapel with 3 big blinds." So that was his exact words, which still
Off-quoted.
Yeah, one of my favourite lines ever said at the poker table.
Yeah, no, absolutely brilliant stuff. So Dara, obviously has the short stack ninja skills. Neil Farrell has confirmed that, and he will be having to deploy them almost immediately, because you don't really want to kind of let those blinds go through twice from here on out.
Button draw is going to be huge.
Button draw is always big, and similarly for me, I'm going to have to probably get going here. I think I do have maybe 20 bigs, or maybe just over 20 bigs, but it is shallow actually. That's the thing about this tournament too, is that we didn't lose people at a great rate this morning, and it is starting to shallow out. I think we're probably going to end up on a final table where the average is 20 bigs, and in fact I think that is what it is behind me. And we're going to give our best shot, obviously. Be nice, obviously we could get going, but also don't be too surprised if we don't find ourselves in the money, despite this blatant bragging video about how we made the final table.
10, Jack, 7. 9's playing, but we can see they're both dead. Aces, kings and queens needed, and it's a king on the river. King on the river, Dara survives. Here's deuce for David. Small blind, big blind. He says the morning call, says call with king, queen. Here we go again. David lapping this time. Call. King, queen again. It's just survived. Can it do it again? Same route. Needs a king and a queen. Oh, we're going to be losing call. And it is not. So Carl Hedeman is going to be eliminated in 9th. Get out of this one. Dara doubling up to 570,000. Unbelievable. I think it's just got to be all of it, hasn't it? Yep, all of it. Or does they say call? They might have said call by the look of that. But it doesn't matter, the others have folded anyway. Ray's getting out of the way with Queen 10. And Ivan Tononi has got 10 Jack of Hearts. Dara over pair. Ivan at risk. Is this first, second, third and 8th? Wow, Oh, pairs up on the river. Oh no! Here's King for Nick. All in Joe from one. With the sevens, he's got involved, unfortunately. He's on a race for his tournament life. Well, now any nines, any queens, any kings, any aces, any jacks. And it's a 10 for survival. David lapping. Says all of it. Mr. lapping in the small. Says let's see a flop. No, we'll check and say go on then. Three, 4, 10 flop. No, hitting a 4. We'll call. Open ender for David on the turn, which is the 9 of diamonds. Might want to fire again. Trying to get rid of some of the trash holders in the Dara may have on the big blind. King, Queen for 8. Jacks for Rory. Both similar stacks. And Ray says all of it. And Rory with the jacks. Can we ever see him folding? I don't think we do, you know. I don't think we see the jacks folding. He'll think about it, but he says call, and it's jacks against King, Queen. We pick up the flush draw, we kick up kings and kings, queens and clubs, and it's a 7. And out in 7th is Ray Wheatley, which means we're on the bubble. Nick with the ace 6 on the button and just over 5. This could be in. Oh, it is now queens for Joe. Joe Mullen. We need an ace. Running hearts. An ace, and only an ace, and it's not. Nick Newport is the bubble. Out he goes. So just moves in for his 10. Now then, Joe, if we could find a call, we could be down to 4. He makes the call with ace 10. We could be down to 4. Ace 9, pipped. Joe Mullen, ace 10. All low cards, meaning the 10 is going to be playing. A 5 and a 7 to chop. It's a 3, the ace 10 plays. Simon is going to be out. It's all in the call. Joe applying the pressure with the chip lead. Will be more or less flipping. So a decision on Mr. David lapping the triangle by Joe. The pressure as the chip leader. 4 players left. What do we do with ace 10? Very tough spot. Dara says they're in, and Rory says I'm all in as well with 6s, so Dara at risk again with ace 6. He's in a bad spot here. Oh, he says, oh, I didn't want to see that. Ace 6 for Dara O'Kearney. 6s for Rory McLaughlin. And an ace on the flop, meaning there's only 1 out to fade. Same scenario. Needs to fade the 6, and it's not. So Dara doubles to 700, Rory down to 410 and 10 bigs.
Stand by players will start making their seats. And we can prepare the deck in satellite please.
Jack, what a flop. What a flop for Rory. Check, Joe. We're probably sticking a little bet. 25%, maybe. Wow, all of it. And Rory has just flopped it, and he's going to get a huge, well-timed double up. Well, a jack or an 8 will be grim. Oh no! A jack or an 8 will be grim. Running jacks. Oh man, that is ill. That is absolutely grim. Wow, Rory McLaughlin, we are feeling for you.
Once again, the tournament will start in about 20 minutes.
In we go again. This will be pressure all the time. Now then, David. We have an ace deuce, it's suited. We have 7 bigs. We're going to need chips to win this. We know Dara and David are both short. Joe's got the rest, about 80% of the chips in play at the moment, 3 players left. Is it an ace? Is it a gamble? Is it time to put them in? I don't think we can fold an ace. 3-handed. And in they go, eventually Dara out of the way. A 10 on the flop, a 9 on the flop. We're drawing dead. All the chips going across to Joe Mullen. David lapping past him his chips. Well played, David. 4,900 euros for third. Joe with another ace. Never leaves home without one. Wow, Dara gets a hand. Oh, Joe Mullen sees that. Ace 7 for Joe, ace king for Dara. An all diamond board, board of 7, we'll have a champ. 6, Jack, deuce. Is very good for Dara. Only fading 7s now. Well, catalogue of outs for the chop. Any 2 or a 6 for the chop. 7 for the win. First double. Here we go. 10-10 full flop checked again. Second check from Joe means a bet from Dara. With a flush draw. Getting up towards $1 million now is Dara. And gets there on the river. Probably a check fold, but Dara is going to be over 1.1 million. King 10 for Joe. Dara with the jacks. Jacks for Dara. Raising to 210. Joe, is he just going to see a flop? Yes, he is. Off we go. Another big pot. Joe flopping best. Terrible, terrible, terrible flop. For Dara with the jacks. Joe's just going to target any 9s, any 10s, any 8s, any ace jacks, any ace queens. So bet's 115. It's a tough spot for Dara. A tough spot. You just can't automatically put him on a queen or a king. So we have to call once. now we're open-ended. Even though Joe's got 2 pair, we're open-ended with our jack. So he goes check, check. Dara misses back down to 13. And puts in a small bet of 75, trying to just get rid of some 3x, 10x that is to turn. Unfortunately, the 10x that is to turn is the 2 pair. So it's all in, and it's going to have to be, it doesn't have to be a fold. He's counting his stack. He's on 12. And he has to get out of the way, unfortunately. Terrible flop for Dara. Got him interested again on the turn, but didn't get there. Dara with an ace. So here we go, this could be it. Dara sees an ace, he gets them in. And Joe has him kicked again. He's had ace 10 against ace 9 before, he's now got ace 10 against ace 5. Is this the champion? Well, a jack, queen, king flop gives us outs with a 10. And we need a 10 for Dara. And it's a 9, so Joe is taking down the title. Well played, Mr. Joe Mullen. Dara O'Kearney out in second. For 7,700, David Lappin, his best buddy and Chip Race co-presenter, was there to film it.
In the merry month of June, from me home I started, left the girls at home, sad and broken hearted, saluted my father dear, kissed me darling mother, I drank a pint of beer, grief and tears just wasn't enough to reap the corn, never I was born, cut a stout like thorn to banish ghost in Dublin, a brand new pair of brogues, rattled all the bugs, frightened all the dogs, and the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the herd and turn her down the rocky road, all the west to Dublin, Maxwell, all the in Mullingar that night I rested him so weary I started by the light next morning bright and there they took a drop of the pure keeps me heart from sinking, that's the paddy's cure. Whenever he's on for drinking to see the lasses smile, laughing all the while at me curious smile, 'twould set your heart a bubbling. They asked if I was hired, wages I required, I was pretty well tired. At the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I pumped the hair and turned her down the rocky road, all the west to Dublin, Maxwell, in Dublin next arrived the thought it's such a pity to be so soon deprived of you with that fine city. Then I took a stroll all among the quality bundle it was stalling in a net locality. Something crossed me mind, I should look behind. No bundle could I find upon me stick a wobbin inquired further road, said me Connacht robe wasn't much in vogue on the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the west to Dublin, Maxwell, oh, soon got out of that me still was never failing and landed on the quay. As my ship was sailing, the captain at me roared, said that no room had he, and when I jumped aboard, a company bound for Paddy. Down among the pigs, led some funny rigs, danced some hearty jigs, the water round me bubbling at Holyhead. Wished myself was dead, got their fire instead, on the rocky road to to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut the hair and turn her down the rocky road. All the ways to Dublin,
How you doing, guys? So it is the final morning of the IPO Dublin 2025. It's been a great festival, it must be said. Dara and I, when last you spoke to us, were about to go onto the final table with, I don't want to say high hopes, Dara. I think we were realistic. We did that thing you always suggest doing, which is to expect things not to go so well, and if they go better than that, then it's probably all fine.
Yeah, in a lot of worlds we would have been the first two people out. So I mean, it's our dream to get heads up in a tournament.
It's never going to happen.
And that was a real long shot. But we actually didn't come too far.
No, second and third was kind of fun, and we did have an outside shot, I suppose, of spoiling the day, but in fairness, he just pulled away from us so ridiculously, didn't he? It was just...
Yeah, four-handed, I think he had 80% of the chips at one point. So, yeah, the 1-2 was very unlikely.
The 1-2 was very unlikely at that point. So, from there, I jumped straight into the main event and managed to bag a stack 1E. That was the turbo, not the hyper turbo on the morning, but the turbo the night before. Happy to get one through, but didn't really make much progress. Got through the money and sort of pretty quickly lost 3 all-ins where I had it bad, actually 2 of the 3, so can't really complain. Dara, you managed to do a bit more laddering.
Yeah, I was 38th in the end.
38th?
Yeah.
I actually thought it was not that good.
Yeah, I know you said before with this well, you only slightly better than Mincash, but actually it was a lot better than
It was
Mincash.
better.
I was sitting beside Dave Kingston, my webmaster on Simplified Poker, and I joked that I was sweating the first ladder more than the actual money because so many people accuse me of being a Mincash king, but actually I have very few pure Mincashes on my
loves the ladder.
record. I have lots of like Mincash plus 1 ladder. So yeah, anybody who thinks I just Mincash, click on some of those Mincashes.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
And they were not Mincashes. They were very slightly better than Mincashes.
And then from there we jumped into the Leslie McLean High Roller, where I built up a nice little stack early on, and then
punted it off.
Maybe. In the end, no good.
You were unlucky.
No, it's kind of a cool hand actually at the end that did me, where I sort of knew my opponent was capable of having the missed straight draw, but he also might have the completed flush draw. I only had to be good about 22% of the time and decided that I probably was, although it was one of those stand-up flick in the calls. Oh god, this probably isn't great, but you know, it's one of those situations which I think is quite common in poker and maybe understood, and I'm going to ask Dara this one as well, which is those situations where you only need to be good like 15%, 20% of the time. You know, people will often just get very anchored to the idea of like, am I good more often than not? Which is never the right way to think about it. When you look at the pot odds here, even if someone makes a pot size bet, you only have to be good a third of the time. So you know, you have to think in those terms, and that means that unfortunately a lot of the time you're going to be flicking in calls that you know are not going to be good most of the time, but that is still enough, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the sports bettors understand this. I remember Jan Sukanik telling me once about a 20-to-1 shot he put on, and I was like, do you really think it's going to win? And he was like, there's very little chance, but it's better than 5%, so
yeah.
You know, it might be 10%, and that's kind of what it is in poker. It's very, as David said, like, it's very easy to think like, do I expect to win here or not? In other words, am I winning more than half the time? But like, that's never the equation. There's always some money in the pot plus the money the other guy's putting in. And another important thing I think about that hand.
Sorry, so Wasp came after me there. Finish your point, Dara, before the Wasp thinks my actual holding the camera hand.
Another point in those spots is, like, as you said, like loads of missed straight draws. And on boards like that, poor people are going to pretty much bluff all their missed draws. They're not going to distinguish, or they're not going to think, well, how much value do I have here?
Yeah.
How does that stock in relation? You see that in time and time again, like poker. On some boards, people have way too many bluffs and they bluff far too often, and on other boards they just don't have any natural bluffs and they don't find any.
Yeah, and I have to say, in the particular hand, and I'm not going to go into the exactitude of the hand now, but in the particular hand I thought actually he might check jam those kinds of draws on the turn because it was a blind v blind spot. So I actually thought maybe it was a draw that missed a lot of the time, or maybe even turning like a low pair into a bluff as well. Maybe he had that in him. Anyway, I bust. Dara did not. 12 players left. June Jenkins to your left for most of the latter stages of the day. Still quite a few good players left in the mix in that one.
Yeah, there are. Yeah. It seemed like because of the buy-in, maybe, I guess, a lot of the better players who weren't involved in the main still in. Has to be said, like, I'm well below average, but I'm 5 of 12.
Yeah, there is one
Because
huge stack.
Frankie McPartland has a ridiculous stack.
He might have like 35% of the chips
That's
with 12 left.
That's exactly what he has. He has 35% of the chips with 12 left. He's like 4 times as much as anybody else.
That's a monster stack, yeah. He's going to be a tough one to beat, particularly because you're playing a kind of a protracted sort of bubble adjacent period. Like, you guys didn't move from 12 left for the last half hour, 40 minutes last night, and you might well be stuck in that kind of mire now for the next little while. Yeah,
and there's only 8 paid. There's 8 paid, so we're, you know, but there's a bunch of really short stacks.
Yeah, I think there's like 5 players with less than 3 starting stacks. So and now like the big blind is like a third of a starting stack. So yeah, Dara's in a shallow stack situation, but no better man. I will keep tabs on whether he makes progress today. I'm actually going to jump in the booth right now to cover the main event, just the early stages. There is a mini main I can play later on today, so I will hop into that later. Oh, by the way, sorry, before I mention that, the second chance is branded a chip race second chance this year. Neither of us, for maybe the 3rd time in a row, have actually been able to play our own tournament, because either we've been in the main in different years or in this high roller. So unfortunately, success in other games, thank you Dara, success in my arm is actually falling off me here. Success in other games is meaning that we can't participate in our own game, but it looks like a great event and the players are enjoying themselves, and there will be some freebies to be had at that one. I don't know, we're giving final tablists, I think, are getting something. We haven't decided exactly yet, but I think it's final tablists, which probably is actually exactly in the money because it got like 80 runners. Anyway, I'm jumping in the booth for the main. The main is well worth taking a look at now. It's down to 14 and loads of Irish notables. We've got Simon Wilson, obviously probably the most notable reigning Irish Open champion. Ray Wheatley, student of Dara's, and, you know, to be honest, bit of a crusher these days. Made some Unibet final tables years ago, I remember. That sort of helped him break out. Obviously made the Irish Open final table, and Ray is a real student of the game these days, and he's been battling away here all week and is maybe going to get his reward in the main event, which, by the way, if he wins, he is the only eligible 100k golden ticket guy, so that would be quite the story. Ray is not playing for 48k up top like the rest of them. He's playing for 148, so it's pretty savage stuff there. We'll be keeping tabs on him. Zeke, who is a bit of a legend in Irish poker, to be honest, mostly plays in the PLO streets, but clearly no stranger to the 2-card game either. He's in the mix. We've got Mark Muldoon, Mark Muldoon. I know there's 2 Muldoons. Mark Muldoon has been apparently just like ruffle stomping everybody with a VPIP of 70% for the last 2 days.
Mark is amazing. I played with him for the last hour before I bust, and yeah, every time I was folded onto him, just 3 big blinds, 3 big blinds, 3 big, and then if somebody shoved, snap fold, snap call. No, he
knows his range.
He knows his range is inside, and it's the same on the flop. Bang C bet, bang turn bet, bang river bet, or bang check. It's like, yeah, he clearly knows the game inside out. Even though he's mainly, as you said, a high stakes PLO cash player, plays the highest stakes live in Ireland. He's phenomenally good at tournaments as well.
He certainly is. Noel Murphy in the mix as well, has a good stack too.
Noel's chip leader, I think.
Is he chippy? Yeah, he has a pile of chips in front of him, and he's been playing superbly well. I played with him for a little bit of day 2, and he's doing fantastically well too. We'll be keeping tabs on him. Actually kind of a good front runner type of player, because he does keep the pressure on, so it'll be interesting to see how he progresses. Any other noticeables, Sarah?
David Rachel is there as well.
Oh,
David's a player who's caught my eye a lot. He final table the European deep stack either last year or the year before, whatever year I final table bubbled, I think it was 2 years ago. He's hyper aggro in early stages and he gets stacks, but he's also very, very good and very canny at the later stages. He knows how to play every stack size. He adjusts very well to opponent tendencies. His natural tendencies are very aggressive, but when he needs to, he hunkers down as well. He's one of the shorter stacks, so he probably needs to get a spin going, but if he does get a spin, he's definitely one to watch.
Well, the final table will be playing out to a winner probably a bit later this evening. 14 left, so I would expect maybe 3 hours of play to get us to that final table. Huge shout out here to Tower, who's been doing some Trojan work in the booth like he always does. He will be anchoring that, but Dara and I will jump in when available, as will Tomo, and some of the WPT team, hopefully to give it a bit of a WPT flavour going down the home stretch. But yeah, look, it's been a great festival, really enjoyed it. Obviously the highlight so far was getting third to Dara's second in that super high roller. Maybe Dara can go one spot better later on today in the high roller. Fingers crossed for him there. And on that note, chat to you later.
Oh, for failing and landed on the quay. As my ship was sailing, the captain at me roared, said that no room had he, and when I jumped aboard, the company bound for Paddy. Down among the pigs, fed some funny rigs, danced some hearty jigs. There was the rummy bubbling at Holyhead. Wish myself was dead, got their fire instead. On the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the hair and turn her down the rocky road, all the ways to Dublin, back for Lully-Doe. Boys of Liverpool, when we were safely landed, they called me a fool. I could no longer stand it, my blood began to boil. Temper I was losing, poor old Erin's Isle. They began abusing her and me sousas I shillelagh Island fly. Galway boys were by, they saw that I was a hobbling. Went out hooray, joined in the affray, quickly cleared away for the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up the hair and turn her down the rocky road, all the ways to Dublin, back for Lully-Doe.
Well, the best of luck to these guys. What absolute warriors they've been over 3 days of poker. Whoever takes this one down should be terribly proud of themselves. They put on a great show, and with no more fuss, Dara Kearney, the booth is yours.
Thank you.
Alongside Mr. Tower.
Thank you, David. Go enjoy your gin.
5-0.
5s for Noel on the button.
Thanks for David for this morning and just jumping in.
So Noel raises. Mark has a hand you would normally defend here, and he does with his customary speed.
He's ordered 3 coffees. 1, 2,
3.
Has he really ordered 3 coffees?
Wow. Interesting
So
spot.
6, 8, 9 flop. A pair, open ender. Against a set of 5s.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Look at this. Straight against the set. Mark will bet.
What a hand this is.
Noel is going to probably just call here, because obviously he can see that there's a 4-liner out there.
Yeah.
But his set is normally still the best hand.
If this pairs.
Or a brick river.
Oh, he's paired up.
Oh, this could be the end.
Oh, this could well be the end. It's just going to be in.
This could be the end.
Wow, it's come near perfect for Noel Murphy.
Yeah. Mark has... It looks like Mark checked and Noel has moved all the... Oh no, Mark bet.
And there we
Call.
go.
It's over.
The champion. Absolutely fantastic. What a hand that was.
Unreal.
What a finish.
What a finish.
Mark still can't believe it.
You can't...
He's
Yeah.
still looking to see where his outs are. If only he got 6 cards. You can't get the winning hand from there, he says. He says you can look as long as you want to. I can't believe it, he says.
Incredible finish. Incredible finish.
Wow, what a fella. Unbelievable. Mr. Noel Murphy.
Okay, so very short recap. Obviously, you saw the footage there. Dara made the final table of the high roll. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
8th place, not what we were hoping for, but solid run again in another high roller. Bit of the high roller touch of magic these last couple of weeks. I ended up jumping into the, I want to call it the mini main. Not for very long. Gave all my chips to the eventual winner, who was...
Noel Murphy.
No, he didn't win. He won the main. Probably, I might have given him some chips as well.
Sorry,
and won the other days.
Helio.
No, that was the PLO. Who just took down the mini main?
John Farrell.
That's the one.
So basically, every time you give somebody tips, they go on to win the tournament.
That's why my chips are like everyone can look at the stack of the guy who won and go, my chips are in there as well in some form. Anyway, yeah, congrats to John Farrell. He managed to take down that one. I jumped in the PLO and came 4th. Which I was very happy to do. Got a bit unlucky in that. I'm not going to give a bad beat story, but got really unlucky. The guy who won actually he scammed me. He scammed me in a pocket 10s against my pocket queens on a queen 10 board, set over set. He fucking somehow managed to hit some weird side cards and out to me. Anyway, I'm over it. kind of. What I do want to talk about though is obviously
Sorry,
the stages
before you go
behind-
on,
Okay,
before you go on
sorry.
and bitch about the PLO
Yeah, okay,
winner,
we'll do that.
incredible achievement. He final tabled the main and went immediately from that into the PLO. which
That
he
takes
won.
art, in fairness. That does take art. And he was buying drinks for everyone at the table, so he's a sound bloke. No judgment against Haleo. We were delighted to see him take it down in the end. That's the stage behind us, actually, where it all took place. So you can see it's been removed. Noel Murphy, incredible performance. Congratulations to him. Mark Muldoon. Uncommentatable, Dara. I think I joined you in the booth for 8 minutes, maybe 9 minutes, and we covered about 27 of his hands. He acts faster than any other poker player I've ever come across.
I couldn't believe it. I played with him yesterday, and when he came to the table, I'd never actually played with Mark before in the tournament. I played with Nick quite a bit, and just the speed, yeah. Like every time I was folded around to him, most of the time he opened, and it was just like a super fast motion, just bang. And then if somebody 3-bet him, again when he came back to him, like instant action, either fold or call or raise.
Yeah.
They were all really fast, and similarly in the flop, everything was like snap check, snap bet, snap call. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, no, it was rapid fire stuff. We mentioned it earlier, but like if you watch some of that final table back, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. Anyway, incredible result for Noel. Delighted for him. You know, a real veteran of the Irish poker scene for 20 plus years, and you know, very deserved for him to get a nice taste here in the Bonnington. One question I wanted to put to you, Dara, because obviously there's a bit of an epilogue, and I wanted to talk about, you know, you know, maybe some of the things that people have been saying to me over the last few days. And one thing came up quite a bit, which was partly me, but actually much more so you, as people who, we play the circuit, we travel to festivals, we obviously primarily want to play the mains and maybe the high rollers if they're there or whatever, but we do grind the side events, and if there's a cup or there's a 200 side event or if there's a last chance saloon, whatever it is, we'll find our way into it on the last days. And I suppose one question is a lot of people would sort of ask is like, well, why do you bother with something like that? Are you not there for the kind of bigger value stuff? And if that hasn't gone well, or you find yourself not in a tournament at 5 p.m. on the last day, why are you jumping into that?
Yeah, well, I think there's two things which kind of maybe differentiate the way professionals think about poker tournaments and amateurs. Like, you know, I wrote a blog on this years ago talking about boxes. When you're an online player, everything is just a box on your screen. You're thinking about your ROI. There's also a variance element. Obviously, the more volume you do, the more likely the variance is to even out. So yeah, it's a combination of two things. Like every time you play a tournament, if you have a positive expectation at tournament, you are making Skansky bucks. You're making theoretical money, and in the long run. And to get to the long run, you have to play as much volume as possible. So you know, when you're there, you might as well play absolutely everything. Even though if I didn't feel like jumping in the last €100 turbo today. But you know, it's still another tournament that's there. My expenses haven't gone up because I'm already here. Everything that's cost me to get here has already been paid. And you know, the ultimate example of that is a recent guest on the show, Bo Dargari, Ari Engel, who takes exactly the same approach, plays absolutely everything he can.
Yeah, no, that's a much better answer than the one I gave people when they asked me about you, where I just went, he just fucking loves it. He loves the game. But no, on a serious note, guys, there's a good tip there. And actually, if you haven't checked it out, that Boxes blog of yours from years ago is still one of your best blogs ever. Amazing bit of advice to give to any up-and-coming poker pro, current poker pro, just anyone who wants to understand, the variance game, sort of how we compute things as poker players, maybe kind of differently from the way other people do. On that note, this has been a really fantastic festival. I want to give a huge amount of credit to Nick O'Hara. Of course, he is the man behind the IPO. When we got to kind of pull this one together at kind of late notice, actually about 10 or 12 weeks ago, make it a WPT event, we were thrilled to do so. Dara and I obviously have spent years working with Nick with Unibet and the old days, and to be able to poach this one and bring it over to WPT Global team has been very special, and sort of feels like a bit of continuity for us as well, as ambassadors who do the live circuit and now get to kind of be here at this event. Dara, your final thoughts on the festival? Yeah,
absolutely. No, the festival was incredible, and as you said, we feel ourselves to be ambassadors not just for different sites, but also for Irish poker in a very sense. So we're trying to bring Irish people to these sites, but we're also trying to bring the sites and the to the festivals as sponsors, so that the festivals can continue. And and I said to Nick afterwards, like, this festival had the best group of tournament directors I've ever seen anywhere. Oh yeah, that's true. And that includes all the big EPTs, WSPs, everything else, just every single member of floor staff was top class. Particular shout outs to Antonio, the main guy. He does EPTs.
He's
He does
class.
all sorts of absolute class. And Daniela, who started as a dealer, has pretty much done everything. But she's an absolutely world-class tournament director. She has an amazing ability to just keep things calm, de-escalate tense situations,
Yeah, she's brilliant.
which is a lot of what tournament directing comes down to. And also the dealers have been incredible.
Yeah, no, top notch all round. And there's a big part of us that would hope that we'll be running this one back over and over again as the years go by. From the Bonnington Hotel, this has been the Dublin IPO 2025 from Dara and I. We'll catch you on a Chip Race episode in the near future.
I tell you what, I want a lucky coat like this.
Yeah.
Because how many times have you taken it off, put it on, sat down, looked at the cards, I've doubled up, sit back down again?
Yeah, I had to go a few times already. I got a good bit of luck coming through. I had to grind as well, I did. It was a bit of. It was really enjoyable tournament, and I enjoy every lads on the final table were really good players as well. So good crack as well.
You were down to 3 bigs yesterday.
I was.
The court went on.
Yeah.
You sat back down again. Took out the court went off.
Yeah.
Then you were in again.
Yeah.
And then the last session yesterday, you moved tables because we swapped tables. And then you end up as chip lead.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know, we just got lucky. We got a lot of luck. You need a little bit of luck in these tournaments. We had some good hands as well, but I had to grind as well. I just want to say something. Dara O'Kearney and David Lappin, listening to them on their podcast actually made me a much better player for them type of situations. Before I would have panicking. And if I came down to 5 or 6 blinds, I'd try and get it in. But listening to them, it just took me time. I didn't panic. I waited for my spots, and actually, it did pay off for me. So I'm really happy with that, to be honest.
And also, quickly going back to Dara, because I spoke to Dara before as well. The book on short stack play.
Great, brilliant. And that's what I was getting at the final table now. I was using that at the final table. But no, it's really. I love listening to that podcast. Because just some of the theories they talk about and the way they go through their hands, that really helps me, to understand what way I'm playing hands. It just gives you a little bit of a theory in the back of your head of you're not sort of just going out with your gut. So I've really enjoyed it.
From 3 big blinds to the IPO champion, that's superb, isn't it?
And I just want to say thanks to all the staff as well, to the people that put it on. Great, the lads that put it on. The time was brilliant. The levels going up was brilliant. Just a really enjoyable tournament. I final table last year, if you remember, I think it was 8th or something. So I was one better this year.
A lot better this year.
Nice
Quickly, we discussed deals. We didn't do deals or anything like that. And then we got the right. Just heads up with Mark.
So we done the deal. Do you want me to say that?
No, it's entirely to you.
Yeah, so I got 38, Mark got 35,
Fantastic.
and then I get the extra 4 on top. So 42. So I'm delighted.
And also, you get a trophy.
Yeah, the wife would be delighted as well.
You also get a trophy. Antonio, can you come this way? Ladies and gentlemen, can a massive round of applause for the champion of the IPO 2025, Mr. Noel Murphy!